ready for some football. I don't know about you. Who else could it be but your man Lou? Yeah.
Who else could it be? For me, your man, Louie T. Welcome to Monday Night Football Overtime. Falcons, Eagles. This stream is brought to you by BetUS. Put some mother effing respect on Kirk Cobain's name. All right? All you mother effing haters. Did you see the stat before he went down and made it 9 game-winning drives? The most since 1978? Now 9 game-winning drives, but he just gets garbage time stats. Put some respect on Kirk Cousins' name. I said on X about maybe an hour ago, man, this Eagles defense is dookie. To which somebody said, hey, shh, our defense is trash. And I said, I don't care. I love it. Because the whole division's defense stinks. Not one team in this division's defense is any good. Okay? Is any good. Every team's defense in this division stinks. No, it stinks. I got a new name for the Eagles defense. We're going to call their defense Denny's. Because it's somebody's always open. Yes, we know the way things are supposed to go. Good eats, comfortable seats. Come on into Denny's. Come on in. Try our new delicious skillets. Only $1.99. Come on in. Good eats, comfortable seats. Come on into Denny's. Hey! Now on some real, can we be serious for a second? A lot of fans are probably going to try to come down hard on Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni. I don't dislike the call. Saquon Barkley has to catch the damn football. This game is over. Catch the damn ball. That's why they're paying you all that money. Catch the ball on third and 3, and the game's over. Right? That's not a bad call from Nick Sirianni. He's wide open. It's a high percentage throw. It's an easy play. Catch the ball. This game is over. You win 18-15. No questions asked. You can debate whether he should have gone for it early in the game when he turned down an opportunity to get 3. Doesn't matter. You should have won this game if Saquon Barkley catches a 3rd and 3 pass right in his hands in the flats with the game on the line. So I don't want to hear any Nick Sirianni hate. Fire Nick Sirianni, this, that, and the third, because this one's not on him. This one's not on him. I want my coach to trust his players in the most critical moments to go make a play to put it away. Don't leave it in the hand. We know this defense is Denny's. We know it's Denny's. He knows that too. You don't think he knew that? Why do you think he threw it on 3rd down? Why do you think he threw it on? Because he wanted to ensure the 1st down. Because if I put my defense out there, those boys are going to eat. I just told you, good eats, comfortable seats. Come on into Denny's. Then he already knew Kirk was going to eat. You see how open those receivers were? That man was down inside the 10 within 30 seconds. Troy Aikman at one point said, hey, they need to slow down. You don't want to give the Eagles too much time. That's how quick they got down there. Ha! Hey, how about the Atlanta Falcons staring 0-2 in the face? That's where we're going to start tonight. To the victors go the spoils. Falcons get it done 22-21 in improbable fashion. Come from behind in a game that they had no business stealing. But I was telling myself as the clock was winding down and I thought the Eagles were going to win this thing 18-15, I said, Kirk is getting close. Remember, I've told you that Kirk has played the Philadelphia Eagles each of the last 3 years in week 2 on the road in Philadelphia. in 3 different settings, okay? There was a Monday night game 3 years ago, right? Or excuse me, 2 years ago. Monday night game when he was in Minnesota and they got steamrolled. It was 24-0 at half. Kirk couldn't do right, throwing picks. I think Meek Mill was there. They played Dreams and Nightmares, and yeah, it was one of those nights, right? I think Darius Slay got a pick and gave the ball to like Floyd Mayweather or something like that, right? It was one of them nights. They lose 24-7, something like that. Next year, Kirk's on Thursday Night Football, Vikings. They go there, they play better, but they still turn it over. It's a shootout, 34-28, something like that, but they lose. I said, he's getting close. This year, he actually had the lead in the fourth quarter. He had the lead. I said, he's not going to win this time, but if they do it again next year, Kirk's going to get him. Little did I know, Kirk had a trick up his sleeve. Had a trick up his sleeve. And that's my guy. That's my quarterback. You know, that's my guy. I hold it down for Kirk. I thought Raheem Morris mangled the clock late. It actually came back to benefit him. But I thought he mangled the clock. Because for whatever reason, he thought it was a good idea to let the clock run all the way down to 2-minute warning and use his timeouts on the other side. And we've all figured that out now, that we've debunked that theory that that's a smart idea, right? The play is to use your timeouts on the other side of the 2-minute warning, right? Luckily enough for him, the Eagles threw the football on third down. And again, it was not a bad decision. If Saquon Barkley catches the football, it's God bless and good night. Everybody drive home safe. 18-15 final. Eagles are 2-0. Saquon drops it, and the rest is history. We'll get to Jalen Hurts and that interception that he threw at the end of the game. But let's talk about the Eagles night, first of all. Or, excuse me, the Falcons night. I thought it was a well-called game from their offensive coordinator up until the last the fourth down call. You had been running outside zone against this Eagles defense with impunity, okay? With impunity. You could run out. I could have got 120 yards running outside zone tonight. The stretch play was there all night long, all night, all night long, all night, all night. And then in the most critical, first of all, the Eagles' strength of their defense. There are not many, as you saw tonight. There aren't many strengths of this Eagles defense. But the one thing they can do is stop the run inside in a small, controlled environment with those defensive tackles. They are physical inside. Let's get physical, physical. And they do that. Why do you think they had issues trying to score down in the red zone? Why do you think Green Bay had some issues trying to score in the red zone? Because you can't run inside. When you got all that space and you can stretch them, and you can make those big boys run. Oh, yeah. We talked about the kid they got from the Jets, Bryce Huff. He can't stop a nosebleed in terms of the run game. They ran, it's rare in this league to see somebody run to get to the outside without a holding penalty and have a clear path to the edge and pick up 19 down the sideline. And that's rare. But because Bryce Huff is in the game, literally their tight end took one hand, pushed Bryce Huff that way, and then went and got another guy, right? That was him sealing the edge. He didn't even have to put two hands on Bryce Huff. One hand, take him. He's out the way. Let me go get somebody else. Let me go find some more work. And at the most critical juncture, you think it's okay to run up the middle? That was the only knock I had on their offensive coordinator all night long. Other than that, I thought it was a great game plan. Stretch these bastards out, make them run. Okay, that's the weakness of this Eagles rush defense. Make them run. Them big boys don't want to run. Make them run. Graham is 960 years old. The two big defensive tackles, they don't want to run. Make them run. Stretch them out. Them linebackers, nowhere to be found. Zach Bond had him a game last week. Did you hear his name called tonight? No. I don't know why you come down here messing with these people. No, you didn't hear his name tonight. And so I thought it was just gorgeous to watch them run. The Falcons' offensive line is ridiculous, right? They have been built to run that outside zone, and they run it to perfection. It was a sight for sore eyes. It was beautiful to watch because they got away from it last week against Pittsburgh for whatever reason. Maybe Kirk, they weren't comfortable with Kirk getting that handoff done, right? And so they wanted to give him an opportunity. It was a lot of conversation surrounding that leading up to this game about them not getting under center, not having that outside zone, not having that play action fake, and just primarily being in the gun last week. So they switched it up, went back to their traditional ways, and it was very effective. And I thought early on in this game, Kirk looked a little shaky. He didn't look as comfortable to me. There were opportunities. Obviously, we saw Ray McLeod running through Denny's, right? Running straight through Denny's for a touchdown, and Kirk didn't see him. I mean, and not to say that Drake London wasn't wide ass open in Denny's as well. He was open too. But Kirk threw it down at his knees. He had to go down and dig it out. He throws that up where he can catch it and run. There's probably another 15, 20 yards. I just didn't think he looked comfortable early. But as the game wore on, I thought Kirk started to look more like himself. And then he started standing. That fourth down where he stood in the pocket, didn't budge a bit. There's trash around his legs, and he just stood there and delivered a dart to Ray McLeod. I said, okay, now Kirk is getting dialed in. And not too far after that, he delivers a dime to Darnell Mooney. And I told you that was one of the best free agent signings of the offseason, was getting Darnell Mooney from the Bears. I said, that's a perfect fit, getting Darnell Mooney. You know, that's a really good receiver that people kind of forgot about in Chicago. And he takes off, breaks a tackle, scores the touchdown. And I'm like, okay, I still didn't think they were going to win. Okay. But I'm like, this is cute. This is nice. This is what I needed to see, right? The Falcons are not dead, and they're going to have a chance next week against Kansas City. I didn't think they were going to win this game, though. Didn't think they were going to win this game. They go for two. They don't get it, which was big because I felt like they needed to get that 2-point conversion. And so then the Eagles did the thing that they do so well. And I just said, damn it, man. They're really good at this. They got the football, and when they got to have it, they know how to get it on offense. And they took the ball, and they ate up about 8-9 minutes of the clock, spanning the third quarter into the fourth, and they score a touchdown, and they get a 2-point conversion. They take an 18-15 lead. They give it back to the Falcons with like 6 and some change left. All right, here it is. And one of the best tackles you will ever see in the whole, mano a mano, one-on-one, is you and me. Kill or be killed. Win or lose. And C.J. Gardner-Johnson gets in that gap. He runs that alley. And he meets Bijan Robinson. Hey, Troy Aikman, it's not B.J. Robinson. Bijan Robinson. Like Dijon, like the mustard. Bijan Robinson, not B.J. And he meets him at the line of scrimmage. And low man usually wins, and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson won that matchup. And it was just awesome to see somebody just stone a dude cold like that at the point of attack. That's at the apex. That's like the Oklahoma drill, right? Wow. At that moment, I said, that's a winning play right there. Your defense is still Denny's, but that's a winning play right there. That's when I said their offensive coordinator failed them in that moment, because that's not what the Falcons are. They're not a bludgeon you to death, up the middle, trap, power, counter type team. Outside zone. Stretch those boys out. That's where the gaps were. That's where the rush lanes were. That's what you needed to do on that play. Hell, you could have even done a toss. I don't like tosses, though, in 4th and 1 situations. Outside zone. I know it's a slow developing play, but they couldn't stop you. They couldn't stop you. But at that point, it felt like the Eagles won the game. And then they had the holding penalty. and they overcame it. And you know, Jalen Hurts was just fantastic with his legs tonight. And it felt like the game was over. And again, if Saquon catches it, but he doesn't. And so Eagles got to kick the field goal. And Troy Aikman says, this is why they pay you all that money. Right here, this is what they paid you for, Kirk. And I'm watching this thing unfold, and I'm like, Kirk, this is your moment. Don't miss your moment. This is your moment, Kirk. Don't miss it. You better lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to go. This is the opportunity you've been waiting on, Kirk. It ain't once in a lifetime, but you better go. You've done this before. Do it again. Kirk says, come on, man. You know me. You really know me. I said, I do. He says, what I'm finna do. I said, I know, but you got to show them because they don't believe me. I be trying to tell them. He said, all right, I got you. Quick. I'm talking about Kirk went in, looked at the menu. He's like, man, this is the best Denny's I've ever been to. This is nice. I mean, it's a lot on this menu. I'll take a Drake London, and that'll be for 11. Let's see. I'll have a Darnell Mooney for about 32. Make that 2 Darnell Moonies. Put another 20 on it. Yeah. So let's call it Darnell Mooney for 42. 2 for 42. And I'll have another Drake London for 5. And then I'll have a touchdown. And you can put a little 15-yard penalty on top. Don't worry about it. I got Younghoe Koo. Cool? Cool. Don't worry about it. You can put 15 on top. Don't worry about it. Put it on Raheem Morris's tab. Matter of fact, put it on Saquon Barkley's tab. Yeah, 26. From the Eagles. Yeah, put it on his tab. Quick work. Quick work. Kirk said, I got an appetite for destruction and I scraped the plate at Denny's. And then I told my wife, I told him what Kirk was about to do. And then I said, but the Eagles still going to win this game, though. I said, Younghoe Koo. I said, the 15-yard penalty for the guns. I said, they got him. They got him. I said, Raheem, calm down, bruh. It's a penalty. You got Younghoe Koo. He said, cool. I said, cool. You good. He's going to make this. I said, but you're going to lose anyway because Jake Elliott has I've watched this man make a 61-yard game-winning field goal for the Eagles before. So I know they don't need but roughly 30 yards. You start at the 30, get him to the 40 on the other side of the field. That's a 58-yarder. He's going to bang it home. It's Jake Elliott, bro. I still thought they were going to win this game. I did not think they were going to lose, but I said, Kirk, you did what you were supposed to do. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. You might not get the win here, but you did what you were supposed to do, and I'm going to make sure they know you did what you were supposed to do. And then they get some pressure on Jalen Hurts. And I said this last week on Friday night when they played the Packers. I said, man, this dude be doing some real sketchy shit with the football. You got to watch him. Watch him before they watch you. Get him. You got to watch him. You got to watch him because he could get a little reckless with the rock. You got to watch him. A little pressure. He hadn't seen pressure all night. A little pressure on him. Not just in the game and what's at stake, but also a little pressure in his lap for the first time. And he throws up a lob job. And look, there's certain safeties around the league you just got to be careful around. Your shit is not safe around these dudes, okay? Jesse Bates III is one of them. You got to be more careful, all right? He makes me nervous. You got to be careful around Jesse now. Jesse's a bad, bad boy. And Jesse went and got it. And I said, oh, that hurts. If you're an Eagles fan, you already thought you were 2-0. That shit hurts. Ouch. That's a big win for Raheem Morris and the Atlanta Falcons and Kirk Cousins, especially knowing that you had to go home next week on Sunday Night Football and host the two-time defending Super Bowl champions who are 2-0 right now. Now, they got their own set of issues, and I think Atlanta could win that game next Sunday night. But you didn't want to be 0-2. You saw the statistic. From the last 3 years, teams that start 0-2 have 19 of 21 teams who have started 0-2 over the last 3 seasons have missed the postseason. Only 2 teams in the last 3 years who have started 0-2 have made the playoffs. That is a damn near death sentence if you start 0-2 on the season. It's just hard to dig yourself up out of that hole. And staring that stat in the face, they somehow overcame, and they needed every single thing that happened to happen for them to win. They needed every single thing that happened to happen. They needed Saquon to drop that pass because the game's over if he doesn't. Even if they would have run the ball, gotten no gain, bled the clock down to, because I think they were in a position to bleed it down to a minute, that wouldn't have been enough. You saw how fast they got down there. It's Denny's, bro. It's 24 hours. Kirk would have got down there in a minute anyway. So Nick Sirianni did the right thing. He knew his defense is Denny's. He knew. Call it coach's intuition. He knew. Let's get this shit over with. I don't even want to put them back on the field. I'm not comfortable with them going back on the field defensively and winning us this game. That's why you pay all that money if you're the Atlanta Falcons. I'm not sure if it was Matthew Judon with the pressure. I felt like it was, but it might not have been him. That's why you pay Jesse Bates III. And that's why you also have Justin Simmons, right? That's why you pay all that money. When the game's on the line, you want those guys to step up and make a play for you. That's a big win, man. If you're the Atlanta Falcons, damn, that's a big ass win, bro. That shit hurts. If you're an Eagles fan, that shit hurts like hell. That's one of those ones. And again, we don't know how the season's gonna play out. But I've already said the Eagles and the Cowboys are coming closer and closer back to the pack. They're no longer these dominant teams that reign supreme over the division and are going to be 5-6 games ahead of the Giants and the Commanders. They're right there for the taking. I just don't think either the Giants or Commanders are ready to do anything of that sort yet. But there's a lot of football to be played, and we'll see how the Commanders grow because it'll be them before the Giants, obviously, because of the Giants quarterback situation, clearly. But everybody's defense in the division stinks right now. Every single team's defense in this division is trifling and nasty. So that means you can lose in any given week. You can get got. If you don't play defense, you can lose to anybody in this league. I said that the Eagles were a 10-11 win team this year. Cowboys are a 9-10 win team. That's not that far away from where the Commanders are as a 7-win team or so, 7-8 win team. They're not that far away. The gap is closing, and you're watching it in real time happen. Vic Fangio's scheme is old hat. I don't give a shit what pieces you try to put in this defense. It's still Vic Fangio's scheme, and the league figured that shit out 2-3 years ago. Man's too old to learn new tricks, man. You think he's going to change the shit up now? Hell no. This shit is what it is. For the Eagles, I still think this offense, and this was obviously without A.J. Brown, and that makes a huge difference. So you could see they didn't have anywhere to go on 3rd down and 5, right? He's the go-to guy. It's A.J. Brown on the slant. Stop it. You can't. So they're going to run it, right? Well, he wasn't there. So, Jalen had to bail him out with his legs or extend, and find Devontae or find Britton Covey, right? But they missed AJ. But even with that said, this was a game there for them to win, right? Even with that said, I can sit here and make jokes about their defense, and it's a really bad unit, but they hunkered down in the red zone. They got enough stops. They did what they needed to do on that 4th down, that critical 4th down, and they were in the driver's seat to win this game. Saquon Barkley had another good performance up until the drop, that is. And I thought Jalen Hurts was spectacular with his legs and his decision-making in this game up until that last throw. He had been really, really good tonight. That was the Jalen Hurts from 2022 that almost won the MVP and almost won the Super Bowl. He looked in that type of form tonight with his legs, with his arm. Again, he had to put the team on his back tonight because there was no A.J. Brown, so he had to go out and be that guy. And for essentially 3 7/8 quarters, that's exactly what he was, that guy. And he can't go up and hand it to Saquon Barkley any better than that throw on that 3rd down. I mean, what do you want him to do? Run up and hand it to him? Partner? I mean, damn. Saquon's just got to catch the damn football, and this game is over. I mean, there's really nothing else to say. I mean, it would have been a tough, gritty, hard fought, and I would have came up here and I would have said, you know what? It wasn't pretty, but it was gritty, and most importantly, it was a dub. And I would have sat here and I would have talked about that drive that they had spanning the end of the 3rd into the 4th that was about 9 minutes long, that resulted in a touchdown and then the 2-point conversion by Barkley. I would have sat here and talked about that's what the Eagles do. They did the same thing against the damn Green Bay Packers. When they had to have it, they went and they got it. Ate up clock, continued to churn out 1st downs, got it done, and put the game away. And they did it again. And all Saquon Barkley had to do was catch the ball. They would have done it twice in this game. Once with them trailing in this game, right? Once with them trailing 15-10, they put that drive together. And then after the 4th down stop, they were about to bleed off the final 5 and whatever change left on the clock in Philadelphia Eagle style. And I would have sat here and I would have talked about how this team knows how to get it done in those situations. They had a holding penalty, force them back to 1st and 17, and Jalen Hurts runs for 14 on the next play. Like, that's the type of time he was on tonight. He was locked in. He was ready to do what he needed to do to make sure that this was a dub on national television. Unfortunately, Denny's wasn't prepared, right? Short-staffed. They weren't prepared. And obviously, Saquon had a blunder, right? You have to catch that football. You have to catch that football. That's a tough way to go out if you're the Philadelphia Eagles. Who do they have next week? They probably will be able to rebound. But that one's got to make you sick to your stomach if you're an Eagles fan. That's brutal. Oh shit, they got the Saints next week in New Orleans. Oh shit. And then they got the Bucs after that. Oh shit. You really needed to win this game. Not saying that you can't go to New Orleans, but the way those boys playing offense, the way your defense look, yes, we know the way things are supposed to go. Good eats, comfortable seats. Come on into Denny's. Come on in. Try our new delicious skillets, only $1.99. Come on in. They in trouble. Oh shit, they in trouble. So You know what that means, Commanders fans? Look around. There's the standings. Eagles, Cowboys, and look who's right there with them. That's right. The Washington Commanders. All 1-1, tied for first place. Isn't that cute? Let's get to the comment section. But before we do that, y'all know how we do it here on Overtime. We are first going to get a word from BetUS as we go inside the odds, brought to you by BetUS.
Inside the odds.
Looking for a new book this year? BetUS has got you covered. Fastest payouts in the industry. Get up to 10% back on your net losses twice a year. Again, how many books are out there doing that? And you saw in the graphic, 125% sign-up bonus. Scrap that. For my viewers, BetUS has upped the ante to 150% sign-up bonus on up to $2,000 on your first 3 deposits. That's right. Use the promo code YouTube150 to get you up to 150% sign-up bonus on up to $2,000 on your first 3 deposits when you use the promo code YouTube150. Go to betus.com and use the promo code YouTube150. So let's talk about it. The line in this game was 5.5. Boy, Vegas be knowing some shit, man. Had Denny's been closed, which it never closes, 24 hours. But had Denny's magically been closed, this would have been a 21-15 game, and Vegas would have hit it. And I always tell you, buy the half point, right? Buy the half point, just in case you can get your push and get your money back, right? Vegas hit it right on the head. And then Kirk Cousins said, not on my watch. Got the iced out watch. The over-under for the game was 46. I thought there would be more points scored. I'm not going to even front. With the Eagles defense playing the way that it played in week 1, and I thought that the Falcons were due for a bounce-back game. I just thought more points would be scored. I thought this was going to be like a 20, 30 to 20 type game, Philadelphia, 30 to 24 type game, something like that, Philadelphia, right? I thought it was going to be high scoring. I thought it was going to be over 46 without question. Here are some prop bets you could have thrown out there, right? First scoring play of the game, which was a Falcons field goal, right? So if you'd have slapped down $100, you would have won $340. That easy, just like that, right? Total touchdowns in the game. They knew that 6 touchdowns weren't going to be scored in this game. I thought the number would have been somewhere in that 4 to 5 range, but not 6 touchdowns total. So that would have been a hard one to sell. Total field goals scored in this game. Now, this was interesting because the Eagles have done a good job in the red zone. I thought field goals would come into play here. Field goals are just such a big part of the NFL now because kickers can kick it from so far. You get to the 40, it's a 58-yard attempt. Most kickers in the league are knocking it home from 58 now, right? Teams aren't afraid to send their kicker out there from 56, 57, 58 anymore. That's routine now, right? Game has changed. So 3.5 field goals, that felt like stealing, right? That felt like easy money. I would have definitely taken the over there, right? Shortest touchdown in the game, you're dealing with the Eagles. That's why that's an interesting one there. The Eagles are going to have one of those more likely than not. They had one of those in the game. They always do, feels like. And so that was an easy one. The question was, how far was it going to be from, right? And then longest field goal scored in the game. Oh, man. I think all of the field goals were pretty close. I don't think anybody attempted a long field goal. The extra point that Younghoe Koo kicked at the end felt like the longest kick of the game, and that was from 48 yards, right? With the 15 tacked on. So the under was even money. So there was no money to be made there. I got a couple more that we'll jump into a little bit later on in the show. But Vegas, boy, they be knowing it, man. They be on it. 5.5 is what they had this game going off as. Eagles 5.5 point favorites. They will own it, man. Own it. Let's get to the comment section. See what you guys have to say. If you're out there, and you know how this works. If you don't, use the hashtag LouieTLive to have your comment read on the air. If it is pertinent and time permits, we will get to your comment and react to it. But if you want to ensure that your comment is read and ensure that your comment is reacted to and jump to the front of the line, super chats are the way to do so. And again, with all the super chats that I see lined up here already, it's going to be tough to get to any hashtag comments tonight, but just keep it in a buck with you. But we'll see what we can do. All right. Jeff Johnson, stand up. You are the newest member of the MOBB. My guy, Jeff, welcome to the squad. Glad to have you aboard. And you're just in time, man. We're in first place. You're just in time, Jeff. Rocky D, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, Eagles, you like that? You like that? My sister sent me not Sister Lou, not the Falcons fan, but the Cowboys fan sister sent me that gif of Kirk walking in. You like that? You like that? As soon as they got the interception. So that was funny that you just brought that up. Abel Ambrosio, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes, Eagles lost, Dallas lost. Feels damn good. HTTC. Don't you love when a plan comes together, right? I didn't think this plan would come together so nicely. You know, get one from the Giants, right? Get one off them. And then while simultaneously watching Dallas be disassembled, dismembered, right? And absolutely shredded at home and taken apart. And then say, hey, if the Eagles win, it ain't no skin off my back. I ain't tripping about it, right? But hey, my feet are up. I got my dub, right? We good. Let's just go enjoy the game, right? And then to watch these boys struggle, they were going to win though, but to watch them struggle and to see their defense be Denny's. I said, man, this is great. I know we got a shot. Didn't think they would lose the game though. That was a welcome surprise. Surprise! Joshua Farish, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Joshua writes, thank God the Falcons brought pressure on the Eagles last drive. At the start of the drive, they made it seem like they were going to only rush 3 or 4. They brought that and that guy came looping around. I'm not even sure that was pressure. I think that might have it could have been a 5th defender that they brought. But it felt like that guy just kind of looped around and had a little action, and he got pressure late on Jalen as he was throwing the football. I'd have to go back and see. But they weren't going to just get pressure with 4, right? And so it probably was some sort of blitz, a delayed blitz or something like that. Neither team could get to the quarterback. And this is what I was talking about with Philadelphia. When they had the audacity, the balls to move on from Hassan Reddick, like they had it like that. They were also thinking about moving Josh Sweat. They tried to get rid of him too. And I'm like, wait a minute. Who the hell is going to get pressure for you if you get rid of Josh Sweat? He's the only guy off the edge that has any juice that you really respect. Bryce Huff right now looks like his jersey number. 0 strength, right? 0. It's bad, right? From a pressure standpoint, it's bad for Philadelphia. And the Falcons weren't having too much success getting pressure either. So, like you said, something was going to have to give. I thought they were going to get in the field goal range. I really, truly did. I was shocked Jalen threw that interception because I thought they were going to get in the field goal range and win the game. Right? They have an excellent field goal kicker who is made for these types of moments. All they had to do was get to the 43-yard line, and that's a 61-yard field goal, fully capable. And they had another timeout. Christopher McLaughlin, my guy. C-Mac, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Chris writes, hey, Lou. What's up, Chris? Hope all is well with you and the family. Likewise. Likewise. We are tied for first. Yeah. Who knew that 7 field goals could get you first place? A piece of first place. Who knew? I would rather have taken 40 seconds and run 3rd and 3. I don't blame Nick Sirianni for that. I know that's the politically correct thing to do in that situation is run the football, but you see how fast Kirk Cousins ran through Denny's? Come on now. Chris, you know as good as I do, he looked at that menu and he said, I can do this in a minute. I can order 5 or 6 items off this menu in a minute and clean the plate. It wouldn't have mattered. They were down there in 30 seconds, Chris. But I get it. I understand your logic. But Nick Sirianni knew Denny's was open. He knew. And that's why he went for the game winner. And it should have been enough. Again, I'm not going to sit here and go. And I know you're not slandering Nick Sirianni. You're just saying this is what you would have done. I'm just going to make sure that there's no Nick Sirianni slander from that decision. Now, you want to question something else he did, knock yourself out. That was a good decision. Scared money don't make money. Saquon needs to catch the damn football, right? 1, he says 3 questions or 2 questions, excuse me. 1, how would you objectively rank the defenses in the NFC East and why? 2, who is number 1 in the NFC now? New Orleans, Minnesota, and San Francisco, and why? That's a tough question about the defenses. All of them stink, man. Oh, wow. Boy, that's tough. I don't really know. I think we have the best run defense in the division, right? But you could argue we have the worst pass defense in the division. So it kind of negates it, right? We have the worst corners in the division without question. So on one side, I think we stop the run better than anybody in the division. And that's not saying much because we stunk it up against the Giants. But I think they're better than that against the run. But the Eagles can't stop the run. The Cowboys, they stopped it in week 1, but the Browns don't have, Nick Chubb. So I'm not sure. They didn't stop it against Alvin Kamara, right? And the Giants can't stop the run. Almost gave up 100 to Aaron Jones and then gave up a career high to Brian Robinson Jr. Man, that's tough, man. I mean, I guess if I had to say, I guess I would go with Dallas. I guess, and that's tough. Just they gave up 35 points in a half, but they got the best player in the division defensively, and that means something, right? That means something. He can wreck an entire game by himself. So I guess I'd have to go with Dallas begrudgingly, but it's hard because all of these defenses stink. Every last one of them. I guess I would go Dallas 1. I'd go Dallas 1, Philadelphia 2, Commanders 3, and the Giants 4. And that's tough. I mean, you could just put them 1A, B, C, and D, honestly. I mean, they all stink. They've all given up something that is unique to them, right? The the Giants allowed us to not punt in a game, score on 7 straight possessions, right? The Cowboys gave up 35 points in a half. The Eagles have given up the most chunk plays in the division by far and away. I mean, the Packers had chunk play galore in Brazil, and you saw what Kirk did tonight with the game on the line. Chunk play, chunk play, chunk play, right? Big chunk play available to Ray McLeod over the top. Didn't go for that one, but he still took the chunk play underneath to Drake London. Had the chunk play touchdown to Darnell Mooney, right? Nobody's giving up more chunk plays than the Eagles defensively. And shit, we let Daniel Jones lead 3 scoring drives, 3 touchdown drives. I mean, that's almost worse than any other infraction that anybody's committed. So everybody's got their shit. As far as who's the best in the conference right now, it's tough, man. It's still early, right? Like, as much as I want to believe New Orleans, I'm like, you serious? They're like, what I just did to Dallas wasn't enough proof? I'm like, I mean, it kind of was, but I'm like, do it again. You got Philadelphia this week. Do it again. I'm going to challenge them one more time. Do it again. Look, I know Debo is out for a while, and that usually affects San Francisco very negatively, but I've seen this movie enough to know that the 49ers are probably still the cream of the crop in the NFC until proven otherwise. So I'm still going to go with the 49ers. One game isn't going to change my mind. You get them healthy with McCaffrey and Debo, and they're still a problem. So I'll take the 49ers still. But it's early. It's early. I'll say that much. Swaggy P, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. My guy, Swaggy P, writes, Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins came in the clutch. What's that smell? Oh, it's the Eagles defense. I love when Sirianni loses. Cry, Eagles, cry on the road to misery. I love it. You know Sirianni's good for shedding a tear or two, right? We know he's a crybaby. He'll cry over any damn thing, right? You love to see it. You love to see it. You said, what's that smell? Smells like Denny's to me. I don't know about you. Smells like Denny's to me. Okay. Smells like Denny's. Like a big bucket of mop water and some old fries with a splash and smatter of eggs, scrambled eggs. Smells like old leather seats. Smells like Denny's. Swaggy P, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Swaggy P, double up, thank you for doubling up. Who writes, Commanders tied for first. Feels good, feels good. Say it one more time, Swaggy P. We what? Tied for first. Feels good, feels good. Who knew? Who knew? 7 field goals could get you a piece of first place. Victory Monday just took a slight turn for the better. Who knew? K Cujo, stand up. You are the newest member of the MOBB. So glad to have you on board, Mob. You know what to do. Show K Cujo some love. Welcome to the squad, K Cujo. And again, much like I said earlier, you're just in time. We were just talking about first place. Wouldn't you know? You showed up just in time. Frankie, yo. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, what a signature classic performance from Dotson tonight. Got the number 83 for how many yards he's going to have this year. Jahan Cardio Dotson is what we're going to call him. Okay. Now, I will say this about Jahan. He sure did throw a mean block on that Saquon catch on third down to get him a first down, something he couldn't do in Washington. So the Eagles aren't afraid to use him as a lead blocker on a play. That's important. So he's finding a way to get tough. Eventually, he'll contribute as a receiver, I think. I'm not sure. With no A.J. Brown, you would have thought he would have had his number called at least 4 or 5 times. He did have a catch. We're not going to act like he didn't have a catch tonight. He didn't go 0 for like he did last week. Okay? He's on the board now. All right. Take command for life. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Take command for life. Writes, wanted to give my thoughts on the Giants win real quick, Lou. I tried to defend BSJ against the fan base all last season. Just can't be the best corner on the team, but he can play. B-Rob has 1K yards, 100%, 1-1. Benjamin St. Juice is capable of being a number 2 corner in this league. I said the same thing about Kendall Fuller. Kendall Fuller is a low-grade 1, but he's really supposed to be your number 2 corner. He's really supposed to be your number 2. I feel the same way about Benjamin St. Juice. I think he's good enough to be a number 2 corner in this league. You can win football games with Benjamin St. Juice. I've seen him compete at a high enough level. My problem with him is the same problem I've had with him since we drafted him when he was in college. He doesn't take it away. And quarterbacks don't fear guys who don't make them pay for mistakes. And it's that simple. So what is going to deter me from coming at you, even if you've got great coverage, if you're not going to make me pay by taking it away? There's no penalty. PBUs aren't going to stop me from coming your way, right? So he was really good in the game. And I think his confidence is building. He almost had a pick in week 1. He had good coverage on Mike Evans. Those were dime throws. I think he's growing in confidence. I really do. And he's got a new celebration. I don't know what shirt he has on under his jersey, but it's no more of this. He was pulling his shirt up every time. I don't know what's under there. But keep doing that shit. And B-Rob is well on his way. Health willing, he's well on his way, for sure. Edward Washington, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Ed Dub writes, my apologies to Kirk. I was dogging him last week. Man, people been dogging Kirk for years. And I've been over here defending this man, and I'm going to keep defending Kirk because he was a damn good quarterback in Washington that should have got a contract to stay in Washington. But people love to run with the low-hanging fruit narrative that Kirk doesn't get it done in clutch situations. All he does is pad his stats. Garbage time stats for Kirk Cousins. But yet he got all these come from behind game-winning drives and victories. I wonder how the hell those happened. Guess we'll never know. Shout out to Kirk Cousins. And shout out to you, Ed, for standing on business and giving that man his props. It's easy to just kind of fade to black and be quiet when he's out here balling. And then when he chokes, to come up and be loud again. But you said, nah, I'm going to stand on mine. And I can appreciate that. Door Gunner, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Door Gunner writes, good week. No. Correction. Great week. Okay? Great. Like Tony the Tiger. It's great. It's a great week. Commanders with divisional win. Cowboys lose. Eagles lose. And we are in first for 1 week only. Look, enjoy it. We may never see first place again. Okay? Enjoy this shit. We may never. Look. Why you bullshitting? Cowboys have the Ravens. Eagles have the Saints. We might go into Monday Night Football with a half-game lead all by our lonesome. If you ain't careful, we might go into that bitch with first place. This is the beauty of having a Monday night. We get to watch these boys hopefully struggle on Sunday. We ain't even got to worry about our boys. All I'm going to ask them to do is just not embarrass me in front of the national crowd. That's it. I don't expect to win. Just go in there and don't embarrass yourself. You know, Joe's pissed. They're going to get T. Higgins back. Just don't embarrass me. And even if they do, it is what it is. I ain't tripping. But we might have company next week. What do you say? 1 and 2 across the board? I'm not signing up for that. Everybody's got a chance to win, including us. Hell, I don't know who the Giants have. They probably got a shot to win next week. I don't know who they got. He says, LOL to 1 week only. For 1 week only. Eagles defense and Hurts both stink. The defense is definitely Denny's. I can't co-sign Hurts stinking. All right. He was fantastic tonight. The interception should have never happened because Saquon Barkley should have caught the ball. And yes, the interception happened. And you hate for it to happen in that situation if you're Jalen Hurts, if you're an Eagles fan. But he should have never been put in that position because the game should have been over. Great play call. Great throw. Catch the football, right? Daniel Jones hater. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Daniel Jones hater writes, Saquon meat riders are going crazy. Love to see it. I bet you Giants fans are having a field day with that one. Oh, man. They are lighting up Eagles fans with that one, right? They probably having a parade on that one. That's a fascinating dynamic there. The reaction from Giants fans watching him choke away a game for the Eagles. It doesn't get much better than that if you're a Giants fan, I guess, right? If you're looking for something to celebrate right now, if you're a Giants fan, that might be it. That might be your silver lining right now. Take command for life. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, we are technically first place in the NFC East week 2. Technically, we're by ourselves because we've got the only division win. I understand that, but we're not doing that right now. Okay, let's just be happy with a 3-way tie for first. We're not gonna get into the specifics of, hey, we have a division win, nobody else does. I know that's a funny thing to do, but all seriousness, it's 2 games into the season, right? And so just be happy with a share of first place. Just be happy we got a piece of first place for the first time since probably week 2 last year when we were 2-0. We had a piece of first place. Then when we lost to the Bills in week 3, the Eagles were still undefeated. I think the Cowboys might have been undefeated at that time too. And so we never saw first place again after that. But we're back. We're back. Red House, not Roadhouse. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Sirianni is a loser for calling that timeout. I don't know which timeout you're referring to. I just know that was a great play call by Kellen Moore. And it was a ballsy decision by Nick Sirianni because this is the blowback. This was the downside of that. If it's not caught, if something goes awry, it's going to leave the Falcons with ample time. And like Troy Aikman said, what them not wasting that 40 seconds did was it effectively gave the Falcons the ability to work any part of the field with no penalty, with impunity, essentially. Like we don't have to get out of bounds. If we do, it's cool, but it's not necessary. We've got plenty of time. So maybe burning off 40, kicking the field goal, and leaving them with just a minute to go would have been the play because then you're in a little bit more of a mindset of we got to work the sidelines, and maybe the middle of the field isn't as available to you. But as we saw, that was so quick. I don't think the 40 seconds would have mattered, to be honest with you. They scored, and I think there was still 30-something seconds left on the clock. So, I mean, you saw how fast they boat raced down the field. Jeff Johnson, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, hey, Louie, first super chat. Welcome aboard, man. Welcome to the squad, and so glad to be chopping it up with you, Jeff. Did I do it right? Yes, you did. Yes, you did. He says, everyone in our division looks very beatable. Facts, Jeff. That was the biggest takeaway of the night. I was looking for the Eagles to come out and be dominant tonight because so many Eagles fans made excuses about the sloppy field conditions in Brazil. And, oh, man, guys were slipping and sliding all over the place. That's why our rushers couldn't get home. And Kirk Cousins was just as comfortable back there. Oh, my God. He sat in those leather seats. What did I say? Good eats, comfortable seats. He sat in those leather comfortable seats at Denny's, grabbed himself a pillow and was like, oh, man, ate my belly full. Ate some scrambled eggs and some home fries, some sausage. Now I'm just going to relax in these comfortable seats. And then he heard the voice in his head, try our new delicious skillets, only $1.99. And he sat back up like the Undertaker. New delicious skillets, only $1.99. I got to go get me one of those. Go get me this touchdown. Win this ball game real quick. Everybody looks beatable, including us. Everybody looks beatable. And I said this before we played a single game this season. I said Dallas and Philadelphia are coming back to the pack. There's no more separation where you feel like, damn, I can't even see those boys. There was a point in time where Dallas and Philadelphia were driving and they looked in their rearview mirror and they couldn't see us. They couldn't see us. And we were looking straight ahead and we couldn't see them. Now, we driving right next to these bastards. Honk, honk. Hey, Philly. Honk, honk. Dallas, what's up? We all in first place. And even if they pass us, we still can see their ass. They're not going far. They're not going nowhere. That distance, that gap between those two teams and the rest of the division has closed considerably. And I said that and people laughed at me. We lead. Yes, we do, Jeff. B-Rob plus JD5 and AE coming for you next, Philly and in Dallas. Like the sound of that. But we got a lot of work to take care of. We got a lot of things we got to improve upon ourselves. But it was good to get that first division win under your belt. We don't see another divisional opponent until week 7 or 8 when we see Philadelphia on Thursday Night Football. But and the goal is to be in the mix by the time that game takes place. Be in the mix, clean up some of the deficiencies. I told you, I'm glad our schedule is backloaded with division games because it's going to give us a chance to get our shit together before we see them. The only team we were capable of beating, playing the way we're playing right now, is the Giants. I want no parts of Philadelphia, no parts of Dallas right now. Let us get our shit together. And maybe they get their shit together too, right? And it is what it is. I'll take my chances. I'll take my chances. Hunter Hodovic, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Hunter Hodovic, thank you for being a member of the MOBB. My guy, Double H, writes, T, we in first. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are in first place. Granted, it's 2 weeks in. Okay. I got to make sure I keep stressing that to y'all, but I didn't expect to be here. I looked down and I found me a $20 bill and I'm like, oh, must be my lucky day. Must be my lucky day. What a great weekend for us, man. Yeah, it was. Indeed. Feel for my brother, though. He's an Eagles fan. Don't feel bad for him. Don't feel bad for him. Hey, I'm going to enjoy this while I can. Yeah, don't feel bad for him. Trust me, he's had enough ups recently. He can afford a few downs. Don't feel bad for him. Rocky D, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, many people except my many Washington fans would be like in Shaq voice to Kirk, I owe you an apology. I was unfamiliar with your game. Good one. Good one. There's so many Washington fans out there that owe Kirk an apology, but they'll never give it to him, and that's fine. I'll take that apology right there from Shaq in the Shaq voice, and that's good enough for me. You know, I got another one earlier tonight from Edward Washington. That's enough for me, man. It's just the acknowledgement. That's all I'm looking for, man. Just people to understand Kirk is legit. Always has been, always will be. Will he always get it done in the clutch? No, but no quarterback always gets it done in the clutch, except for Patrick Mahomes, maybe. But, or at least it feels like. But Kirk has gotten it done enough. And if you give him a defense, and I swear the Vikings failed him in that department. He was never equipped with the kind of defense that they had the year before Kirk got there with Case Keenum. And you can tell me the Vikings defense was this and that when Kirk was there. It wasn't as good as it was that year when they went to the NFC Championship game. Kirk had career years, man. I ain't trying to hear that shit. Career years. Spence Collis, thank you for being a member for 25 months. Really appreciate you. Who writes, sad Sirianni is the best Sirianni. Makes me smile. Yeah, it makes my heart smile too. Makes my heart smile too. We got a sad Sirianni and a headset slamming Daboll all in one weekend. Could you ask for much more? And then we got Mike Zimmer and Michael Parsons having a powwow in the middle of an ass thrash and trying to figure out answers. Does it get much better than that? I mean, really, does it? Edward Washington, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes, love seeing the Eagles lose, even though I picked them for my winners and losers. My record is trash this week anyway. Most people's, I mean, you know how many upsets there were this week? This loss put me under double digits for the week, and that's fine. I'm willing to take this loss because guess what? 90% of the people picked the Eagles anyway. And if you picked Atlanta to win this game, you probably got a shitty sheet anyway, unless you picked all of those upsets and managed to not give it away by picking like Denver or some bullshit like that, right? So it's going to be a shitty week for most people. It will be. And I'm fine with that. Sindeko, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Sindeko writes, LTN Pod episode number 378, December 6, 2023. If you need notes for your 00 statement tomorrow, Bryce physically could not perform. It's that simple. I have a 00 to give up, and I probably will submit my 00 on the next podcast episode. And since he's been benched, it's a damn shame what happened to Bryce in Carolina. I've got some thoughts on that whole situation too, but we'll talk about that tomorrow on the podcast. Tyreek Stroman, stand up. You are the newest member of the MOBB mob. You know what to do. Show Tyreek some love. Welcome him with open arms. Tyreek, welcome to the squad. Thank you for becoming a member. Welcome to the squad. Tyreek, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Newly christened member of the MOBB. Tyreek Stroman writes, stop the count. Stop the count. Commanders first place, baby. Just kidding. Just kidding. But yeah, go ask somebody. We back up. Hey, hold your horses there, Tyreek. Okay. Don't get too out of pocket now. All right. We're on the way back up. We're not quite there yet. That boy Saquon still got that New York Giants stench. That felt real giantish, didn't it? He felt like a double agent on that one, didn't he? Zoinks! You stupid, Tyreek. Yeah, Red House, not Roadhouse. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes? Saquon saw Neighbors and said, "Hold my beer." I thought about that when he dropped it. I said, "Damn." I said, Saquon went to the school of Neighbors, right? Like a good neighbors, Saquon is there. That was a good one. That was a good one. That was a good one. Lang Hughes, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Lang Hughes writes, AP fleeced Howie. Hey, look, it might turn out to be we got the ski mask. It might turn out we got the ski mask. I don't know. You know, everybody, all these Eagles fans always think that Howie's over here fleecing somebody, right? I think Howie showed up at the wrong McDowell's, and AP was sitting down talking to Lisa McDowell, and he said, "Excuse me for a moment, sir. It would behoove you to stop shouting obscenities in the presence of these fine people." And he said, "What? Who the fuck are you?" "I am Adam Peters, new general manager of the Washington Commanders, and I would like to propose a trade." "Who is this asshole?" "You've been warned." And he had to find out the hard way. Freeze, you disease rhinoceros pizzle. He had to find out the hard way. Ain't gonna be no thievery around here, man. All right? Ain't gonna be no thievery around here. He had to find out the hard way. And look at that perfect segue. King Jaffe Joe. Look at that. Look at that segue. Thank you for the super chat. King Jaffe Joe. Look at that. I'm here for this. Rise up. And the Lord says you got to rise up. Yes, indeed, King Jaffe Joe. You got to rise up. Go get you a dub. On the road. In improbable fashion. I'm here for all of it too. Put some respect on Kirk's name. I'm here for all of it too. You damn right. Video channel. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, Noah Brown and a third rounder greater than Jahan. It's feeling like that right now. I'm not saying in one game, Noah Brown has more catches and yards this season than Jahan Dotson. I can't make this up. I can't make this stuff up. Hell, in one catch. I can't make this up. But look, you ain't hear that from me. You ain't hear that from me. All right. GT7, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, Hey, Lou. What's up, GT? A wise man once said, it feels different. Wait for it. Wait for it. Because it is different. Y'all gonna learn. The problem is people don't learn till it's their turn. I tried to warn you, but as a wise woman once told me, those who don't hear, y'all fill in that blank for me. V-Chow, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. V-Chow, thank you for being a member of the MOBB, writes, Eagles' supposed investment into their defense the last few drafts looking kind of shaky. Media was swearing they were killing the draft. Look, they did the easy thing. We've done this before too. Bruce Allen did the same thing when you just go shopping at a reliable store, right? We went shopping at the Alabama store, right? We went and got Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne. What was the edge rusher that was trash from there? Ryan Anderson. I don't think his first name was Ryan. Was it? Something Anderson, right? We just went to the Alabama store. The Darian Mathis. We did the easy thing. Just go shopping at an easy store that you know is going to churn out good football players. It's supposed to be, right? They went shopping at the Georgia store. It was the easy, hot thing to do. They win in national championships. They got all these talented players. Let's just go shopping at the Georgia store. That's easy to do, right? Should be. Gotta be careful. All merchandise ain't good merchandise. All merchandise ain't good merchandise. They're going to find out. They're going to find out. One way or the other. They're going to find out. GT7. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes? Being tied for first is going to fuel JD5 and the boys as we prep for Monday Night Football. Let's effing go, Lou. Well, we'll see, right? I mean, again, we could be in first place, sole possession of it by the time we get to Monday Night Football. There's a chance. So you're telling me there's a chance. Like I said, Dallas is hosting the desperate 0-2 Baltimore Ravens, and the Eagles are traveling to New Orleans to take on a red-hot 2-0 New Orleans Saints. Something's got to give. And the Eagles could go there and humble them. And Dallas could get their shit together and beat the Ravens. Anything's possible, right? But after watching what we've watched, the likelihood is the Cowboys are going to get blessed at home, and the Eagles are going to watch the Saints go marching in. That's the likelihood. Just like the likelihood is we're going to go to the jungle and never be seen from or heard from again. That's the likelihood. But again, this is why we play the games, right? So we will see. All right. T-Money. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. T-Money. Hate it or love it. The underdog's on top. And we going to keep on going until our hearts stop. Go ahead. It be me. I'm not telling you that we got the league's MVP, but we might have a rookie of the year. So you better go ahead and get to know him. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. But once again, you ain't hear that from me. Amero Delcit, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Amero writes, Lou, hope fam is well. Likewise on your end. We first place, really? HTTC? We in first place, man. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Not me. I feel like your boy in that Netflix special when he was talking to himself. Look at us. Look at us. Who would have thought? Who would have thought we'd be sitting here at Denny's? Not me. Not me. Who would have thought? Tyreek Stroman. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Tyreek. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Who writes? Dotson, 1 reception, 6 yards. Thanks for the 3rd round pick, Philly. Love ya. Again, it's early. Okay, it's early. Jahan might go off, right? He might go off. You never know. All right. And I told you I got no ill will towards Jahan. He's done nothing to me. Okay. So I'm not gonna play that card, with Jahan. But I do appreciate the 3rd round pick. And I do feel like Noah Brown is a better fit for what they want to do in Washington. So there is that. Will Diggs, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. My guy Will Diggs writes, if the Patriots can beat the Bengals, so can we? ? Yeah, but it's not the same, though. Right? Let me tell you why it's not the same. They were 0-0 then. So the level of urgency, not quite there, right? Not the same as 0-2 back up against the wall, and we got to have it. Oh, and by the way, they didn't have this guy. What's his name? T. Higgins. That's right. They didn't have T. Higgins. Now they do. To go along with Jamar Chase and the rest of those fellas, yeah, shit's about to get ugly on Monday. It's gonna get ugly in here. Oh, in here. Oh, in here. Oh. But it's all good. Because I'm looking around and I'm like, we got company. Keep the house clean. You never know who's going to stop by. We got company. Spence Colleagues, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Spence writes, who will catch JD first touchdown? My guess is Eckler. It'll probably be one of the backs, it feels like, right? A dump out into the flats to Eck or B-Rob or screen to one of those dudes that pops and goes for a touchdown. Kind of feels that way, doesn't it? That's a good guess. Eckler's a good guess. I don't think it'll be one of the receivers. Feels like one of the running backs right now. Rel Goated. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Rel Goated writes, we beat the Bengals and I'm smelling blood, Lou. We beat the Bengals and a lot of shit changes. Starting with the outward perception and media perception of the Commanders. I think if we were to win that game, the attention would first be on, oh my God, what happened in Cincinnati, right? Because that's the initial response is how the hell did we get here? How are they 0-3? So they would first focus on them. And then they would look up and realize, oh shit, the Commanders are 2-1. Look at the job Dan Quinn is doing. Look at this rookie quarterback. But they would eventually get around to that. And it would kind of change the narrative on us. But again, the likelihood of that happening, slim and none. And I'm going to more so lean towards the none side, right? Because I know what desperation looks like. And the Bengals have been there before. This ain't their first rodeo. They started 0-2 3 times in a row. They know what 0-2 feels like, and they know how to dig themselves out of an 0-2 hole. Trust me. I watched them go to Arizona last year and come back to life magically after Joe Burrow had a calf that didn't work. And all of a sudden, after starting 0-2, Joe Burrow's calf magically worked again, and he started stroking boys. Pause. Big pause. And then he went off. And next thing you know, them boys was like 4-2. I know what's coming. I just hope it's not as bad as I think it can be. But hey, I told y'all, we ain't got to start talking about that till Thursday. We got time, baby. Celebrate. We got time. We in first place. Celebrate. Darnell Kelly. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Darnell writes, LB's walk out of the link was epic good stuff. Oh, so he must have been at the game live. I got to go watch it. I got to go watch it. We really need an NFC East Super Friends is what we really need. But we'll see if we can work on that. Mike Jink, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. My guy Mike Jink writes, damn, that's the perfect way to sum it up, Mike Jink. Almost speechless. I've been there before as a fan. I've been a fan long enough to have seen my team snatch defeat from the jaws of victory, right? I've seen that happen. Drew Brees did it to us back in 2017. Right? We up 2 scores with about 4 minutes left. And somehow magically we let this man tie the game up, send it to overtime, win the toss, and beat us with a touchdown to open up overtime. I mean, you can't make this shit up, man. You know, sometimes it just be like that. You were literally a Saquon Barkley catch away from winning this game, 18-15. That should have been the final score here, right? AJSTP003. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, this looks like Jack Del Rio still the DC. I'm not going to say yeah, but I was disappointed with some of the play calls, and I said that on CNN. I was really going back and watching. I was really and I was disappointed in real time going back. It didn't change anything, and I don't think the all 22s are going to change anything. I was disappointed with playing man coverage and rushing 3 after you had already been beat on the same concept once earlier in the game. I didn't agree with that decision to run the same coverage again that you had already been beat on the same route concept. And you didn't know the Giants were going to run that same concept, but you should have said, you know what, just in case, we're not running the same coverage. GT7, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. I think this a double up, might be a triple up at this point. GT7 writes, Lou dropping Coming to America gems. LOL. One of the greatest movies ever made. Gems all over the place with that movie. Shout out to and rest in paradise to James Earl Jones. Let them wait. I'm talking to my son. Smack City. Been a member for 23 months. Almost at that 2-year Annie. Who writes 8-8 this week on winners and losers, not looking good. Trust me, there are going to be people that are way worse. This was a tough week for everybody. Dallas lost. Baltimore lost. A lot of people probably picked Jacksonville. They lost. A lot of people probably picked Green Bay. They lost. Or excuse me, Indianapolis. They lost. The Eagles lost. The Ravens lost, if I haven't already said that. Trust me, you're not alone. A lot of people probably picked the Dolphins on Thursday Night Football, right? So it's a lot of losses to go around. Trust me, everybody picked San Francisco, right? Come on, man. You're not alone, bro. You don't have to worry about the piss cup or anything like that. You're going to feel a lot better about your 8-8 when you see some of the numbers. And I haven't even looked at the sheet yet. I'm just assuming. When you see some of the numbers that come out, you're going to be like, okay, I'm straight. Never mind. I feel good about my 8-8. You're going to probably see some 6-10s, some 5-11s. I wouldn't even be shocked if you see a 4-12 because somebody tried to be special and made all the wrong picks. Dory Gunner, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Double up. Dory Gunner, right? So ready for the Eagles to crash out towards the end of the season. I mean, I'm ready for that shit to start now because I told you they didn't handle adversity well last year. And I don't know if Nick Sirianni is the guy that as a leader you look to follow when shit's going, bad. He seems like the kind of guy that is a front runner. When shit's going well, he's a great guy to be around, right? When shit's up, he's the dude that wants to go out clubbing. He wants to go have a good time, but let you end up in the hospital. He ain't coming to see your ass. That's the kind of, and again, I'm not talking about him personally. I'm just using that analogy as when shit's going bad, when shit's down, right? When you down bad, Nick Sirianni ain't the dude that's going to pick you up. He doesn't strike me as that type of head coach. He's a front runner. He's going to put on the gold chain and be in a locker room and hyping you up when you 12-1, right? When you're having a great season. But when shit's going sideways, he's a finger pointer. He's not pointing the thumb, he's pointing the finger. Right? I could see this shit going off the rails. If Tampa Bay does to them what they did to them last year, if New Orleans is able to get these boys, this shit could go off the rails. They could be 1-3. And I remember when we were doing the schedules, I think I had them at 1-3 and LB laughed at me. Now, eventually, they were able to turn it up and I think they won their final like 4 games of the season or something. But if they start bad, who knows? They might not get to that point. Remember, there's no AJ Brown next week either. He said today that he expects to be out for the next couple of weeks. He might be back for Tampa in week 4, but he ain't playing in week 3 against New Orleans. So we'll see. DJ23, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Who writes, they did us dirty with the doubleheader Monday. Just in case it gets bad, you can change the channel. LOL. I actually like this spot, bro. I didn't realize we were a part of a doubleheader until tonight. But the last time we were a part of a Monday night doubleheader, we did the improbable against an AFC North opponent on the road. I'm just saying I like the spot. I like the spot. Again, it doesn't mean I think we're gonna win. Okay, I'm just bringing up old good memories. Good old memories. All right, that's all I'm doing. OGJ Command, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. OGJ Command, thank you for being a member of the MOBB. Who writes, hey Lou, what's up, OGJ? What level do I need for full film study? As long as you're just a member of the mob, you are locked in, bro. You are locked in. So you're all good. You're all set. You'll be allowed to be in the film breakdown, and you'll be in attendance if you want to. It'll be tomorrow night. So you're locked in, bro. You're already a member of the mob. That's all you need to be. Joe Rockhead, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. My guy, Joe Rockhead, writes, what's good, Lou? What's going on, Joe? My best to the fam, Lay. They scared me when they mentioned the Giants, quote, 27 games without a first drive score. Streak broken. They always do that to us. I thought Tampa was going to score. Remember, they had talked about Tampa not scoring on their opening drive in a season opener or some nonsense. I was like, oh, well, we streak breakers. So that's about to bite the dust. But we managed to get a stop. And if old boy didn't drop the touchdown, right, the rookie receiver didn't, they would have broke that streak, right? So yeah, that's what we do. Come on now. You already know what it is. You already know. Stanley Smith, I saw you say, can I order a Grand Slam? Of course you can. It's Denny's. Of course you can order a Grand Slam. Anyway, I digress. Let's go inside the odds one more time. Brought to you by BetUS. All right. And I want to run these other odds. This is funny. So I did not know this prior to, right? But I just rolled the dice and it came up nice. I'm trying to win y'all some money, man. Y'all got to listen to me. So BetUS had some specials, right? So again, if you're looking for a new book this football season, BetUS is the answer. Fastest payouts in the industry. You get 10% back on your net losses twice a year. Again, who's doing that? And BetUS has upped the ante for my viewers. It was 125%. Now it's 150% sign-up bonus for up to $2,000 on your first 3 deposits when you use the promo code YouTube150. I went on BetUS and I was just perusing around today. And I said, what are some interesting bets that I would mess with? And obviously, first, the result on the Eagles and Falcons opening drive, because I thought points were going to be scored tonight. So I thought that there would be points. I'm pretty sure neither team scored on their opening possession. Maybe the Falcons kicked a field goal on their first possession. Let me check. I know the Eagles punted on their first possession. I do know that for a fact. I feel like the Falcons had to punt and then they scored a field goal on their second possession, but I could be wrong about that. Let me just get clarification on that real quick. Yeah, neither team scored on their first possession. No one scored until the third possession of the game. The Falcons scored a field goal on their third possession. Eagles had a drive and they went for it on fourth down and they didn't get it. So both would have resulted in a punt, which was the most likely scenario for both teams, Eagles and the Falcons. But it was less likely that the Eagles were going to punt. As you can see, there was no minuses, all pluses. So they're telling you, we think they're going to score, right, on their opening drive. It's most likely that they punt, but we think they're going to score, more likely than not. But with the Falcons, now you see a little difference here. They expected them to punt on their opening drive. So it's minus 125, right? Like, we're not going to give away money here because we expect them to punt on their opening drive. But here's the one that I told you I like winning y'all money. And I'm always looking for ways to get money. You put down $100, you would have won $1,200 tonight on this bet. Week 2 specials. Will there be an octopus? If you bet yes and you slap down $100 plus $1,200, you would have won $1,200 tonight. So an octopus, follow me on this one. If you're a gambling degenerate, then you know what an octopus is. If you're not familiar with what it is, it's a player scoring a touchdown, the team then going for 2, and that same player scores the 2-point conversion. Hence, 8 points, all scored by the same player. Octopus, 8 legs, right? Saquon Barkley scored the touchdown, right? If I'm not mistaken, he scored the touchdown and then the 2-point conversion. I think, let me see. He had the touchdown and then his knee was down. And I think then they went to the tush push or the brotherly shove. Let me see. Yeah. So almost just like yesterday, I was this close to the tie in the Commanders game in the first half. And that was like, I think it was like plus 2,000 or something like that. If the game was tied at half and it was almost 9-9, this would have been $1,200. Like BetUS, they got these opportunities. If you hit the site, use the promo code YouTube150, get you this money, man. Get you this bread. Stop playing these games, right? Anyway, I digress. That is going to do it for me, your man Louie T, here on Monday Night Football Overtime. Falcons come from behind in improbable fashion and defeat the Philadelphia Eagles 22-21. What a finish to this game. Eagles were up 18-15 with 1 minute and 43 seconds left. They call a timeout. They elect to throw the football on 3rd and 3 after the timeout. Falcons have used their last timeout. They can no longer stop the clock. So a first down would in fact end the game. Saquon Barkley, wide open in the flats, drops the football. Not only does he not get the first down, he does also stop the clock. And in fact, uses a timeout for the Falcons. The Eagles kick a field goal, go up 21-15, and kick off the football to the Falcons with about 1 minute 40 left. And literally within 45 seconds, the Falcons weren't just in Eagles territory, they were inside their 30-yard line. And within a minute, they were inside the Eagles' 10-yard line. To the point where Troy Aikman said, they might want to slow down. The Eagles still have 2 timeouts remaining. That's how fast the Falcons went through Denny's. Yes, we know the way things are supposed to go. Good eats, comfortable seats. Come on into Denny's. Come on in. Try our new delicious skillets, only $1.99. Come on in. Jalen Hurts had the football with a chance to get in the field goal range, with the Eagles still having 2 timeouts and 34 seconds left. He completed a pass to Dallas Goedert for 12, and then pressure came. He threw it up for grabs, and it was picked off by Jesse Bates III, and the Falcons come from behind and steal one from the Philadelphia Eagles in Philadelphia, 22-21, to even their record at 1-1 and drop the Eagles to 1-1 on the season. What a finish. What a game. Hey, we in first place. Enjoy it. You know I will. Until next time, you guys have a good one. Take care. Damn, this feels good. Feels good, feels good. Celebrate. Might not last for a very long time, but while it's here, we're going to enjoy it. What a weekend it was. Savor it. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.